This is me. I upload Destiny videos nearly every day these days, but it wasn't always like this, and that's why we must rewind. It all started when Destiny 2 came out and died. Normally, it wouldn't have been too big of a deal if I didn't like playing Destiny 2 if there was content to make videos on, because then I could just spend 45 minutes a day playing, making a video, and I'd be on my jolly way. But it was one of those situations where the game was bad and I didn't enjoy it, and on top of that, there was nothing to make videos for. And around that time, I was playing H1Z1, and Battle Royales weren't everywhere like they are today, so whenever a new one came out, all the people that love Battle Royale games would just go and play whatever new BR was out. So when Fortnite came out, I think it was September 26, 2017. I played it the very first day it came out and continued playing it up until around December, kind of on and off, and just when I wasn't making videos. So around December of 2017, there was nothing to make Destiny videos on. And at that point, I was so fed up with it and I enjoyed playing Fortnite so much that I said, screw it. I'm just going to go over to Twitch and stream myself playing Fortnite. Because up until that point, BRs weren't big on YouTube. They were huge on Twitch, but not as big on YouTube. And if there were any YouTube videos of BR games like H1 getting a ton of views, they were just high kill games that were stream highlights. So at the time, it didn't make any sense for me to stay on YouTube. So I went to Twitch. Admittedly, looking back, that was probably a big mistake. So I pretty much just kept streaming, playing solos, trying to get better, and to just win as many games as I could. And eventually people started running Fortnite scrims, and they would run them on East Coast only servers. And the community attitude towards scrims at the time is nothing like what it is now. Now it's like pretty much the only thing people want to watch besides wagers. Back then it was all about going into pubs and just killing as many people as possible and having a fun time. People did not want to watch you sit in boxes for 20 minutes and then die in a laggy endgame. It was just not something people wanted to watch back then. And because I had a limited amount of hours in the day for me to stream, because I'm a college student, I had like 4 hours I could stream every day, which is still quite a bit of time, but I did not want to spend that 4 hours streaming something that nobody wanted to watch. And on top of that, I'm as far west as you can go in the US, and my connection to the East servers was just god awful. I think I had like 90 or 100 ping. So you got really laggy gameplay where I can't really do anything that looks cool or impressive because I'm lagging super badly, and people just didn't want to watch scrims, so I didn't bother with them. I made a few YouTube videos here and there that blew up, like the one where I exposed the guy that made fake videos, and I think I made like an Ali A one that has like 1 million views as well, but I wasn't really staying consistent with it. Whenever I'd get momentum on YouTube, like I posted that, video exposing the guy who was cheating and it blew up, I would make a few videos after that, but I just, for some reason at the time, I just was purely focused on streaming. I wasn't focused on like, oh, what are some cool challenge ideas? So that's like where my mental energy was focused. So I never was able to do anything with YouTube while I was streaming on Twitch. And because all the big streamers that didn't have any real responsibilities, that were streaming 8 to 10 hours a day, were streaming throughout the daytime, I had to stream at night, or I didn't have to, but it was better for me to stream at night because they weren't online, especially because a lot of them were East Coast streamers. So if an East Coast streamer stays up until midnight and I start my stream at 9 p.m. my time, that's the same exact time. So I was like starting my stream usually around when other big streamers were getting off. And what that resulted in was me streaming until like 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and then being starving because I haven't eaten since like 8 o'clock or whatever. And then I'd order like Uber Eats or something. Fast forward to May of 2018, and Nadeshot tweeted this. He said the 100 Thieves were looking for people to fill out their competitive Fortnite roster. So I figured, hey, it's worth it. It's worth a shot to respond. So I did, and then pretty much everyone in the Destiny community, like a lot of big Destiny streamers and YouTubers that I hadn't even talked to in forever, were supporting me and vouching for me under that post, which really helped a lot. And so then Nadeshot followed me, and things went from there. There was another group of 3 competitive players that wanted me to talk to 100 Thieves as part of their team. So I talked to them as part of that squad. A few weeks go by and they say that they're not interested in the team, but then they contact me a few days later and say that they're still interested in signing me individually, not as part of the team, but just as a solo or as a content creator. So a few weeks passed and eventually I signed with them. I was super excited, but at the same time, it's nerve-wracking because you got signed for a certain reason and then you have to go out there and show everyone that reason and perform. So I played in Friday Fortnite with Cypher PK, did really well with him, and at some point I even played with Nadeshot, who hardly played at all and still made it really deep into the tournament, beating a few pro teams. Of course, it is pub stomping, but you get the point. And at the time, I could confidently say that I was one of the better pub stomping players, because that's really all that was relevant at that time. And I was honestly really good at it. And you can ask anyone who's watching my stream all the time at that point in time. I was pretty good. But the thing with Fortnite though is that it changes very fast, and something that was useful or good at one point in time is not guaranteed to be good or useful just 3-4 months down the line. So the game changed and you had to utilize different things like cones and whatnot. If anyone remembers the point in time that cones got popularized, I had like some awful keybind. I'm pretty sure it was like the DPI shift button on my keyboard, because you never really had to use it. And I didn't bother changing it until like 3, 4, 5 months after it got popular. So I thought that because I was good at that point in time, I didn't really need to keep changing or get better at anything. In late 2018, something felt weird with my PC. It was like I was playing on a TV, or I had mouse acceleration on or something, but I couldn't figure out any way to fix it. And I played for like 4 or 5 months, just awful. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't hit anything. And it was a miserable experience. So desperate for solutions, I decided to swap out my streaming PC with my gaming PC, because my streaming PC had a newer and much better CPU for gaming. And because Fortnite is more CPU intensive if you're playing on all low settings, I decided to do that, and it worked really well, and it seemed to fix everything. I was playing well again. I continued on my jolly way, just playing pubs all day, playing solos, and eventually what happened is they announced World Cup in late February of 2019, I think, and that drove me to start competing. So I started practicing. Scrims were like a whole new world. It was very weird constantly playing against people that were good. So it was a weird adjustment. So to practice for World Cup, I duoed with Base Soldier, who had a ton of scrim experience. He had been scrimming from pretty much the very beginning. But the only problem was that I feel like our team philosophies and overall personalities collided a bit, because the way that he wanted to assess the way that we died was different than the way I assessed it, to the point where it felt like I was always being blamed and we'd be arguing about just dumb stuff that we had no control over. And as a result, whenever I'd scrim on stream, I was just not really in a very good mood and I didn't want to stream it. And in all honesty, streaming practice for anything competitive is something I've never really liked doing. Even with Destiny 1 way back in the day, I never liked streaming tournaments, and I never liked streaming sweats or scrims. So it was kind of a natural hole for me to fall back into, just not wanting to stream anything competitive. And this was even more true for the tournament. So if I didn't feel comfortable streaming practice, or if I didn't want to stream practice, why would I stream the actual tournament itself, where there's even more pressure and even more need to perform? And for me, streaming was never something that came natural. I had to get used to streaming my gameplay every single day. So the more I went without streaming, the less comfortable I was on stream. So the more times that I didn't stream because I didn't want to stream practice because it put me in a bad mood or whatever, I just fall more into that hole of not wanting to stream because I didn't feel comfortable streaming. And we ended up having a few decent weeks in duos. The closest I came to qualifying was, I think I got 8th in like week 7 of solos or something like that. It was the first week that they added the new season with the big wind turbine drone looking things. And I was heading into a game with like 45 points, 51 points, something like that. And I went up one of those. I had like an AK, a pump, minis, and a rift to go. Things were looking good. And I had like max mats or something. And I was about to use that wind tunnel drone thing to get really good positioning for the next zone. So I go up it and I'm holding W to push myself forward so that I can move towards the direction I want to go toward. And what happened was that I leveled out too quickly, took one step on the wind turbine, and then fell completely off the other side. I panicked because I was like, for a split second, I was wondering, oh wait, am I gonna, like, is this one of those things in the game where like I'm falling, but I'm not gonna actually die because I'm using some item or something that makes it so I don't take fall damage? So for a split second, I thought I was cool. And then by the time I processed that, oh, I am most likely going to die when I hit the ground, I had to panic, see if I had a rift to go, saw that I had one, and then had to locate which slot it was in so I could press the right button. I activated it, but slightly too late, and it was so close to the point where I died and the rift to go still went off. And I ended up missing qualifying by like 3 points. So I feel like that would have been a guaranteed top 25 or whatever the placement bracket was at that time. And I most likely would have qualified, but to this day, I don't really like I was really upset about it at the time, but to be honest, I really don't care anymore, because looking back at my gameplay back then, watching all my solo games, because I did record from that week, dude, I had no clue what was going on in endgame. My awareness was awful. My tunneling was awful. Everything was bad, which I know is different because at the time, nobody is nearly as good as they are now or as experienced in scrims, but it's not like one of those where I felt like I truly deserved to qualify. I honestly just got really lucky that week. So from the whole World Cup thing, I just didn't feel comfortable streaming. I got into that rhythm of not streaming, and I just never really got back into it. So I returned to Destiny in around July of 2019 or something around there, and pretty much stopped streaming Fortnite entirely. So I had one foot in Fortnite competitive and one foot in Destiny content creation at the same time. And I did this for like 5-6 months where I could only really be mediocre at both of them and not be good at a single one, because I was dividing my time between competitive Fortnite, Destiny content creation, and then doing my schoolwork. And it was awful. So I decided I would put down Fortnite in December of 2019, and I could not be happier. Just in the 5 months that I've been back, we've gotten 90,000 new subscribers, 18 million views, and then now average well over 100,000 views per video while daily uploading, which is something that I could have never imagined happening, to be honest. And it feels really good because when I came back, like when I finally decided to put Fortnite down, I knew that I was just gonna go all in on YouTube. So before, what I was doing is I was making like 3 to 6 minute videos, and I was really putting no effort into them. They'd probably take around an hour, maybe 2 hours to edit. But since then, I daily uploaded 10+ minute videos. And I know a lot of people like to shit on people for making 10-minute videos, but the reality is that you're making more content. So even though you're getting more money, it's because you're making more content. If I wanted to go and make 3 to 6 minute videos, it would literally cut my work time per day in half. So I was daily uploading, making 10-minute videos, and putting a lot more effort into those videos as far as the quality per minute or just the overall quality of the video. And it's taken like, it usually takes like 5, sometimes 6 hours to make a single video every single day. So seeing that payoff is really cool. So I just want to say thank you to all the Fortnite people that watch my Fortnite stuff, the original Destiny people that supported me when I went over to Fortnite, and all of the new people that have subscribed since I've come back to Destiny. And in the future, I want to branch out to different games, because although I like making Destiny videos, I know that I can't do it forever. And I learned my lesson with Destiny 2, where everyone thought it was going to be a big hit, and then it just completely flopped, and I had to emergency evacuate and go to Fortnite, and I don't want to have to go through that sort of thing again. So I'll probably be uploading like different random games, probably new games that come out. I honestly don't know, like maybe shorter videos that are more skit styled for new games. I really don't know, but I just wanted to say thank you for watching the video and for making it this far. And if you enjoyed the video, the best way of supporting the video is by dropping a like. And if you don't want to miss a video in your sub box, click on the bell next to the sub button to enable post notifications, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Peace.